Today we celebrate Tuesday in the 27th week of Ordinary Time. It's also the feast of Saint Bruno, the founder of the Carthusian order, more of a monastic community that Saint Ignatius had a deep admiration for. Today I'm going to be reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Galatians. Brothers and sisters, you heard of my former way of life in Judaism, how I persecuted the Church of God beyond measure and tried to destroy it, and progressed in Judaism beyond my many contemporaries among my race, since I was even more a zealot for my ancestral traditions. But when he who from my mother's womb had set me apart and called me through his grace was pleased to reveal his Son to me so that I might proclaim him to the Gentiles, I did not immediately consult flesh and blood, nor did I go up to Jerusalem to those who were apostles before me. Rather, I went into Arabia and then returned to Damascus. Then after 3 years I went up to Jerusalem to confer with Cephas and remained with him for 15 days. But I did not see any of the other apostles, only James, the brother of the Lord. As to what I am writing to you, behold, before God, I am not lying. Then I went into the regions of Syria and Cilicia, and I was unknown personally to the churches of Judea that are in Christ. They only kept hearing that the one who once was persecuting us is now preaching the faith he once tried to destroy. So they glorified God because of me. The word of the Lord. In reading this text, I was attracted to the verses, but when he who from my mother's womb had set me apart and called me through his grace was pleased to reveal his Son to me, so that I might proclaim him to the Gentiles. Each of us, whether we are always aware of it or not, like St. Paul, have been set apart. You and I are different. We have been, through the call of grace, given knowledge of Jesus. And this is something that occurs not through our own work, but rather through the grace of God. And having been given that grace, we have been called, like St. Paul, to reveal Jesus to others. That's what it means to be a Christian. That's what it means to be a member of our community. And Pope Francis has continually called us again and again to remind us that we have all been called to be evangelizers. Not necessarily preaching on street corners, but rather through living lives of peace, lives that reveal God's justice, lives that are seen in the corporal and spiritual works of mercy to which we are all called. So today, as we hear the story of St. Paul, let us think of our own histories. Let us think of the way God has touched each of us and called each of us to be his disciples.